everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the different elongated stitches for my reflection shawl. Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about these elongated stitches that I used in one of my shawl designs. This is a wrap that's knit on the bias. It's called Reflection. I'll leave a link to it down below. It's part of my Rainbow Collection ebook. And I just thought it would be good to do a tutorial for these elongated stitches, and in particular along the edges I did make ones, knit two togethers, and slip knits while maintaining the elongated stitches. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how to do all those things in case it's something you haven't done before. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you the first step of doing just the regular elongated stitch. So we're not going to be doing any increasing or decreasing. Obviously you would follow my actual pattern for when you need to be doing what stitch, but for the swatch I'm just going to go ahead and knit some of these elongated stitches. So to start, we're just going to insert our needle as if we're going to knit like we normally would. And normally when you knit a stitch, you wrap the yarn around the needle once, but in this case, we're going to wrap it around twice. So 1, 2, and then pull it through like a regular knit stitch. So you can see here that I have one knit stitch, but I have 2 loops on the needle. So you would just keep working the regular elongated stitches in this way. So you're just wrapping the yarn around twice when you're working the knit stitches instead of once. Again, going in as if to knit, wrapping the yarn around twice, oops, and then pulling it through. So you can see we're making these sort of, it looks like double stitch. It almost looks like we're making a mistake in our knitting, but we're not. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep working across this row, and then I will show you what to do on the next row. Okay, so I've come to the end of the row. You can see I have all of these sort of double loops on all of these stitches. So we're just going to turn it around now and work the wrong side row. So to work the wrong side row, you're just going to insert your needle as if you're going to knit, and now we're just basically regular knitting. So you just sort of insert, see I have like a big sort of hole here. You can see where the stitch is. I'm just going to insert as if to knit, knit. I'm going to pull the stitch off and really open this up, and I drop that second loop basically. So again, I'm going in here, wrapping the yarn around, pulling this off, and then dropping that second loop. You can see basically we're just making a long knit stitch, which is why it's called the elongated stitch. So I'll do one more. Insert, knit one, drop that extra loop. It feels a little scary dropping stitches. This is a really fun stitch. I've used it on a couple other designs too. You can find lots of patterns on Ravelry that use it. I'm just going to go ahead and keep working across my little swatch here. Okay, and that's just the regular knit one elongated stitch. So your nice elongated stitches there. Okay, so then in my pattern you're working just a few plain garter stitch rows, sort of like this. But I'm going to just go ahead and show you on the swatch how to do the make one in the elongated stitch. So I've just worked a couple of elongated stitches along the edge here. That's how it's worked in the pattern. So to do the make one, we're just going to do a regular make one. And so I am going to pick up the yarn between the 2 stitches. I am going to go into the back of it like I normally would with a make one. And then again, because we're doing this in elongated stitch, I'm going to just wrap the yarn around twice and pull it through. So I've still made a make one here, but you can see I have this double loop. So I'm just going to work a couple regular stitches here just to sort of get away from that make one, and I'll do another one for you. So here we go, bar in between. We're going to go ahead and work into it, And instead of just wrapping the yarn around once like a regular make one, we're just going to go around twice. And that's it. That is your make one elongated stitch. And then when you're working back the other way, it's just the same as when I did the regular elongated stitch. We're always just dropping that extra loop off the needle. The other two elongated stitches that you're going to need is you're going to need to work a knit two together using the elongated stitch. So again, going in like we're working a regular knit two together, wrap the yarn around twice and pull it through. And then we have knit two together, but we're creating an elongated stitch. Again, just knit two together like you normally would, wrap the yarn around twice and pull it through. And again, on the wrong side row, you're just going to knit across and drop that extra loop as you go. The last stitch that I use in this pattern is I do a slip slip knit, making the elongated stitches. So we're going to start by doing a slip slip knit. As a reminder, I do my slip slip knits a little bit differently. I have a video of that on my YouTube channel here. I will leave a link to that down below. I always slip the first one as if to knit and the second one as if to purl. But you do your slip slip knit however you normally do it. So I have my two stitches here. And again, just wrap the yarn around twice instead of once. Slip, slip, knit, and wrap the yarn around twice. And like I've been saying, when you work that wrong side row, you're just going to drop those extra loops as you come to them. I'm going to go ahead and work the wrong side row on this side, on this row for you one more time. So just knit, drop that extra loop, knit, drop that extra loop. Some of these stitches, the like the slip slip knits and the knit two togethers, you can see this is one. I find that the yarn does get a little like twisted in a slightly different way around the needle than when you're just doing a regular knit stitch, but you still just work it the same. You just sort of go into that big hole there and knit one and drop the extra loop. So even if the sort of double loops around the needle look a little different on those, you don't need to worry. You're still working them the exact same way. See, again here you can see it's kind of twisted, but you just go into that hole like you normally would. Just take your time, especially on that wrong side row where you're dropping the extra loop. I did find that if I was going to drop a stitch on my project, it was on this row. So just take this one a little bit slow. I just feel because you are making those elongated stitches, it just sort of increases the chances of dropping a stitch. I don't usually drop stitches while I'm knitting, but I did drop a stitch a couple times while I was working on the project. So there you go. And those are all the different elongated stitches you're going to use on the reflection shawl. I just briefly wanted to talk about why I used all these make ones and slip slip knits and knit two togethers using the elongated stitch on this particular project, just in case you want to try to design your own project using elongated stitches in the future. So when I was thinking about designing this wrap, I knew that I wanted these elongated stitches on the bias. And so when you're knitting on the bias in these straight sections, I'm making one at the start of my row. Well, I'm working a little edge and then making one and then doing a knit two together at the other side. And that's how you get, you know, your fabric to go on the bias. So when I was thinking about that, with the elongated stitches, you can see it definitely, you know, they're longer, they take up more length on your project than just the regular garter stitch. So when I originally designed this wrap, I was trying to just do my edges as a regular knit two, a regular make one, and then go into the elongated stitches. But the problem, obviously, is because the elongated stitches are longer, then this was getting all like smushed up. And so it wasn't making, you know, that nice straight edge. So the solution to that was to make sure that the entire row where you're using the elongated stitches, you make everything an elongated stitch. So that meant doing a make one and a knit two together as elongated stitches. And then because I did sort of work triangles at the beginning and the end to make it like just a regular square, even though it's on the bias, that's where I had to use the slip knits as well. So that's it. I just thought that some people might have some questions on that, so I wanted to make a video to show you all the different elongated stitches I used. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up, and if you'd want to see more videos from me, including more tutorials, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like, you can turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I hope that everybody has a great week. Happy crafting, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!